morning, everyone. Dear Minister of Energy, Commerce and Industry of the Republic of Cyprus, dear High Commissioner of the Republic of Cyprus in the UK, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Business Orientation Cyprus 2023. More than 20 distinguished speakers and panelists will provide you with all the latest information about the economy in Cyprus and the UK and the investment opportunities in these two countries. It is with my great pleasure to welcome our first speaker, Mr. Savvas Kyriakides, founder and president of the Great Britain-Cyprus Business Association, for his opening speech.
Dear Minister, High Commissioner, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Business Orientation Cyprus 2023. First, I would like to welcome and thank the Minister of Energy, Commerce and Industry of the Republic of Cyprus, Mr. George Papanastasiou, who accepted our invitation to participate as the main speaker at this event. Your presence here today serves as a source of encouragement and motivation, inspiring us to work even harder to promote Cyprus in the UK. Additionally, it highlights the commitment of the Cyprus government to strengthen business relationships with the UK. In 2017, we decided to organize our first international business conference in London with the aim of showcasing Cyprus as the ideal destination for investment, relocation, and residence. Simultaneously, we wanted to highlight London as the ideal global business and financial center that everyone aspires to be a part of. Since then, we have been hosting the International Business Conference annually, along with another one yearly event in Cyprus. Both of these events are organized by the Great Britain-Cyprus Business Association, established in 2020, which has progressively strengthened, counting over 200 members, predominantly from Cyprus and the UK. A sincere thank you to all our members for their trust, collaboration, and support. I would also like to thank all of our distinguished speakers from both Cyprus and the UK who joined us today to provide updates on current business and investment opportunities, as well as address the barriers and challenges that may be encountered. Furthermore, a heartfelt thank you to our associate sponsors, Quantuma, as well as all the gold and silver sponsors for their invaluable support. Finally, I would like to thank all of you, the delegates, who have chosen to attend this event. I'm confident that you will find it enriching, capitalizing on the opportunity to gain invaluable insights from all our speakers. You can also discuss with them and other delegates during the breaks, especially after the completion of the speeches and panel presentations during the business networking lunch. Thank you.
Our next speaker to welcome to the podium is High Commissioner of the Republic of Cyprus in the UK, Mr. Andreas Kakouris.
Good morning, everybody. Minister Papanastasiou, Mr. Kyriakides, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to be with you this morning to offer brief introductory remarks at this year's Business Orientation Cyprus 2023, which is organised, as Savvas said, for the 7th consecutive year in London. And thank you, Savvas and the organisers, for kindly inviting me to be with you again this year. Allow me to begin by welcoming His Excellency, the Minister of Energy, Commerce and Industry, Mr. George Papanastasiou. The Minister's attendance is, I think, to echo what Savvas said, a reaffirmation of the commitment of the Cyprus government to the continuous strengthening and broadening of UK-Cyprus economic and business relations. I thank also the other distinguished speakers and panelists for their participation and presenting their views on Cyprus's role in a modern economy, not only as a long-standing business partner to the UK, but also as a significant contributor to regional cooperation and security, and as a conduit for business development through identification of synergies. Dear friends, following a 4-year period of anticipation around Brexit, the world experienced a 2-year unprecedented pandemic, which caused an upheaval on people's health and the global economy. Today, we all follow with great concern the developments that unfold in front of us, with the ongoing war in Ukraine and the most recent conflict in the Middle East. And of course, there are enormous repercussions on people's lives, both in humanitarian as well as in economic terms. Despite the continued illegal occupation of the northern third of the island by Turkey since 1974, Cyprus, although a small country, is recognized as a purveyor of stability. It carries strategic importance for Europe, for Asia, the Middle East and Africa, and has an important role to play in the region. It has shown its value and commitment to assisting where needed time and time again, most recently with the evacuation of foreign nationals from the Sudan through Cyprus, or its proposal to create a Mediterranean Sea corridor using the port of Larnaca for the steady flow of humanitarian assistance to Gaza. Cyprus has also spearheaded the successful trilateral cooperation format, together with Greece, involving countries of our immediate neighborhood, such as Egypt, Israel, Lebanon, Jordan, and further afield. The aim to create synergies and areas of cooperation in a plethora of fields in a bespoke manner. It is not a one-size-fits-all project, but individualized to focus on the issues of mutual interest and prospects. For its small size, I think Cyprus punches above its weight and has become synonymous with the word resilience. Despite several shocks through time, the country has managed to stay on track, diversify and attract new investment, earning its reputation as one of the most resilient EU economies. And following the global economic crisis a decade ago, the island has succeeded to emerge stronger than ever from an unprecedented crisis and much faster than anyone could have predicted a few years ago. Indeed, in less than 5 years, the Cyprus economy has achieved full recovery and a growth of almost 4%, one of the highest in the EU. And recently, the credit agencies have upgraded Cyprus to investment-grade territory, and it is predicted that the economy will grow by 2.5% in 2023 and 2.9% in 2029. Cyprus and the UK have had long-standing commercial ties spanning decades. The importance of the dual-hatted position of Cyprus as a member of the European Union and the Commonwealth is, I believe, put into sharper focus today. And this can also be a catalyst for strengthening and expanding our own existing close cooperation. And I'm confident that our speakers will showcase Cyprus's solid growth part and its status today as one of the fastest growing Eurozone economies, with strong fiscal performance and new large-scale projects in the pipeline. And today's event will serve, I think, as an excellent opportunity to reaffirm Cyprus as a reliable and viable partner that continues to further advance its position as a significant international hub and investment destination. Concluding, I would be remiss if I did not thank again the organizers, the Great Britain-Cyprus Business Association, its chair, Mr. Savvas Kyriakides, and the contributors in making this event possible, which I am sure will open new vistas and mutually beneficial cooperation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. High Commissioner. Now it is my great pleasure to welcome our main speaker for today's event, Minister of Energy, Commerce and Industry of the Government of Republic of Cyprus, Mr. George Papanastasiou.
Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here, and I would like to take it a little bit more casually today, rather than having a speech coming from my office and being delivered by myself here. So I would like to have more interaction, with the people and get some questions. If I have the answers, I will give the answers. If I don't have them, I will take them with me in order to get back to you with the answers. Chairman of the Great Britain-Cyprus Business Association, Phile Savvas, High Commissioner, Phile Andrea, distinguished participants, good morning. It is a pleasure being with you today at this event organized by the Great Britain-Cyprus Business Association. Today, at least this is my expectation, we will share knowledge and good practices on a subject that has Cyprus in the center of the discussion as a reliable international business center. So, welcome to the event, Business Orientation Cyprus 2023. I do not intend to load you with all the good words about Cyprus as a business center, and instead I will go through a quick presentation I prepared for the purpose. Therefore, I have to have the time to interact more. Listen to your views, your concerns, and suggestions. Cyprus as a place for business is considered as one of the most attractive places. At a glance, let's remind ourselves what Cyprus is and what it can offer to business. So what we have here, it's some demographics. You see that's the square meters, geostrategic location, population, it's 888,000. I believe it's close to 1 million, possibly nowadays. It's an EU member state. It's a Greek, it's the official language, as you know. English is widely spoken. It's 140 plus EU trade agreements and 67 doable tax treaties. Trusted by the well-known firms from different business sectors, not all are included on this slide, of course, but you will see some of the names and the companies that they trusted Cyprus. There are some big names that are missing, those of the oil and gas, for example, ExxonMobil, Eni, Chevron, Total Energies. These are the companies that they are missing from this slide. Still, there are many more. Why Cyprus for international businesses? There are some very good reasons, of course. Understandably, there are areas for development. So what do we see here? We have a positive economic outlook. Let's start from the right-hand side. It's an EU and Eurozone member state. It's reliable business support services, we believe. It's attractive corporate tax environment, low cost of doing business compared to other EU member states, high quality of life. This is what Cyprus offers. It's a modern legal and regulatory framework. Strategically is located at the crossroads of Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. Access to educated, qualified, and multilingual workforce. And of course, it's a positive economic outlook. You may be aware of the recent upgrading that the economy of Cyprus has received from Moody's and other assessors. Moving forward, we have some, myself being an engineer, I thought that by putting some gears, I believe it will give a little bit of how things work. So starting from the strong business ecosystem, which is the center gear, we have a wide network of financial and professional services. It's 3,900 plus registered accountants and 700 plus accounting firms, 2,700 plus registered lawyers, and 160 plus law firms. Wide range of serviced offices and co-working spaces. And going to the second gear, attractive and transparent tax regime. Extensive network of double tax treaties, competitive IP regime in line with Nexus approach, national interest deduction for equity investment into Cyprus companies. And of course, on the left-hand side, we have the low cost doing business, labor costs for tech talents below EU average, low company setup and operational fees, and cost-effective and high-quality business support services. Cyprus for international businesses, there are some very good reasons, of course, and there are many things that we need to develop further, and lessons to be learned. It is a matter of how Cyprus can be competitive versus the alternatives for the investors. And the answer to this is Cyprus needs to differentiate somehow from its competitors. I believe we started working on that, and there are certain areas that we can win and differentiate ourselves in order to attract the businesses. Cyprus' vision for 2035 is what you see on the slide, to be one of the most attractive places to live, work, and do businesses in. To do so, we need to be a world-leading model, which is world-leading model nation with a thriving, resilient economy. This is where the government is focusing nowadays, and a just, inclusive society. All aspects of the vision will be underpinned by cutting-edge technology and environmental sustainability. This is some nice words. However, the government of the President Nikos Christodoulidis is working very closely and very methodically in order to deliver this part of the slide. What's next? The new strategy for attracting international companies and talents. It's especially the second part, attracting talents, and this is how the plan is for the government. The new immigration policy for international business and digital nomad visa. This is something that has come to place the last couple of months, and it's being intensified. Family reunification and employment of family members. That's something which we are focusing, and we are trying to establish and get the families together. For example, creating schools and bringing in teachers from different languages, different cultures, in order to support the system there and make it a family place for those talents. New law for facilitation of strategic investments. This is coming soon, and this is as currently is under the Ministry of Interior. However, the Ministry of Commerce and Industry will come into play sometime shortly. The Business Facilitation Unit, which I will explain later on. And there are, of course, the tax incentives, which is the first caller for a business to come to Cyprus. The rest is add-ons, which as soon as someone takes the decision to move its business into Cyprus, of course, they have a big value. And the reduced naturalization period for non-EU nationals, which is being reduced seriously over the last couple of months. The tax incentives, I believe, I will skip for the time being. This is something that it can be seen can be found very quickly on the sites of the Ministry of Finance. And I will go to the Business Facilitation Unit, how we can assist the businesses in order to have a single point of contact, to have a one-stop shop. So this Business Facilitation Unit was launched by law on the 1st of January 2022. We have so far 1,680 companies that have enrolled in 2022 and 233 so far in 2023. The main sectors of operations, as you can see here, we have information and communication technologies. We have high-tech and innovation companies that they have enrolled on the business in the Business Facilitation Unit. Pharmaceuticals, of course, they could not be out of here. You know that quite some exports we have, and some companies that they deal with the pharmaceuticals we have in Cyprus. They are in close manufacturing. They are in joint manufacturing of certain of the medicines that they are exported from Cyprus. Shipping, of course, which is very important, and this is what drives part of the economy of Cyprus. We have energy, of course, which is coming under my ministry, and if there are any questions around energy, I believe it's the right time to raise the questions, if you have any questions. And education and the financial services. All these, they come under the Business Facilitation Unit, which is a standalone unit in the Ministry of Energy, Commerce and Industry. It is supported so far by 10 people, and we intend to increase the number of the manpower at this Business Facilitation Unit by another 5 people in the next couple of months, that we will need them in order to support the specific businesses that they are interested in certain sectors. And we are improving on what is needed in terms of resource in this Business Facilitation Unit in order to be able to cope with the new interest that is coming at this, let's say, unit, in order to get the support of those they are interested to invest in Cyprus. And this is the responsibilities of the Business Facilitation Unit. We have the services, the provision of services is, we start with the company registration, the name approval. Again, the registrar, the company's registrar is in the same ministry. It's in the Ministry of Energy, Commerce and Industry. The registration also in the Social Insurance Register, registration in the tax and VAT register. These are the first things that we do for new businesses. They are coming and they are interested to invest in Cyprus. We provide guidance and information on the necessary licenses to operate in Cyprus. For example, if a company that is interested to invest in energy, for example, photovoltaic parks, a recent example that we have is Total Energies, for example, the French company. They just knock on your door. They are not aware of the Cyprus environment. It's very difficult for a foreign investor to understand the system in Cyprus. So this unit provides the solutions to such interested parties, especially if they are totally unknown to the local environment. Accelerating the issuance and renewal of residence and employment permits. It's very often that we get companies that they want to relocate from other places. Recent examples are those that we get companies, for example, nowadays with what is happening, the unfortunate events in Israel, for example. There are interested companies that they want to relocate in Cyprus and bring all their employees. It's not easy, relocation. The future may be to go back into Israel, but the reality is when they see the Cyprus environment, certain parts of their business may stay in Cyprus, and this is what it's the discussion that we're having with such companies nowadays. In terms of, it's a central contact point for the business. It's a single point of contact, in fact. What we are trying to do is to give the one-stop shop message, that is companies, they just go to this facilitation unit, business facilitation unit, and they just they don't need to call in any other ministries in order to get their permits and licenses that they need for their business. We are digitalizing the processes, the procedures, and we are having an online platform which is close to completion, and it will be presented at a meeting that we have next week at the Presidential Palace with proper examples in the presence of potential investors as well. Evolving investment fund jurisdiction. I believe there are in the room a few people that they know by far more than I do. So I will just put the slide on, and people, you can go through yourselves. So we have the international fund platforms that you can see that it's something which is being developed as we speak. We have certain funds that they have approached Cyprus. The assets under management, the growth is exponential, as you can see, showing an increase from 2.7 billion in 2016 to 11.1 billion in the first quarter of 2022. Dynamic international investment fund jurisdiction. Again, it's something which is, I provide here some of the very few reasons why the investments fund and asset managers choose Cyprus. And this is something very new for Cyprus, which started a couple of years ago. And in terms of investment opportunities in Cyprus, we have many investments that they are ongoing at the moment. We have strategic investors as partners, and we see renewable energy is an area which is very attractive in Cyprus. As you know, Cyprus is well located geographically, and the dynamic of solar dynamic, I wouldn't say that is the top in the world, but it's one of the top dynamics that we have in the world. We cannot say the same about the wind dynamic. Wind dynamic is a bit on the low side, so renewables, we're focusing on photovoltaics mostly. We have the ICT, the fintech, healthcare and biotechnology is of course something which is booming, shipping of course, tourism and hospitality, which is the obvious one, and education. And that's it for the time being. I'm open to any questions or any concerns that you may have. And as I said, I prefer the interactive way of exchanging views. And I would love to listen to your views, your comments, and possibly pick up a few questions if the organizers, of course, allow it.
So, Christiana Destilua will be on the panel, the next panel after you. And it is a great pleasure that the panel will follow your nice presentation and comprehensive presentation. I'm not going to ask any question exactly. I will just suggest that I have watched your presentation very carefully, and I have noticed that on the slide that you share the reasons for relocating Cyprus and the reasons for international business in Cyprus, I haven't seen anything about innovation and technology, although you mention several times innovation and technology and fintech on your other slides. So I think it would be a very good idea if you updated the slide and you insert in the slide innovation and technology. We do have the sandbox, we have the innovation hub and everything. So this is a very important reason, I mean, innovation and technology, why we have fintech. I mean, fintech as a result is a result of innovation and technology. So I think it's a reason by its own, and it deserves to be presented on the slide.
Thank you very much.
For the rest of the speech, thank you very much. It was a really very nice speech. Congratulations, a very comprehensive and very informative speech. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. We will take a note on this observation, and we will include on this slide your comments. I mean, the innovation and technology point. Thank you. Any other questions?
Another question. You stated before that you want these sessions to be interactive, so I'm helping these sessions to be interactive. So, Minister, you shared one slide where you said about the processes for registering a company. Could you share a little bit more about how automated is this process and what technologies are used to automate this process? For example, with the registrar of companies, let's say, how easy is for one individual or one company to proceed and register a company fast and efficiently and probably cheaper?
Yes, it's a good question. We are in the process of digitalizing the process at the company registrar's office. We have not completed as yet the system. We have engaged with a company from Ireland, which is considered one of the leaders providing such technology. We are close to concluding and finishing and commissioning the system, and I believe by the end of the year it will be all electronically, the applications and the feedback that you will be receiving.
On this answer, one question, and this is the last question. Actually, have you considered on this, automating several processes, have you considered the strategy on blockchain and AI that it is already in place in Cyprus?
It is included, yes. It is included, yes. Yes.
Good morning, everyone. Mr. Thank you for your very informative speech. In your presentation, you were mentioning some of the new strategies coming up and what Cabinet has been working on. I don't see any reference to the residency program when it comes to the category F. A year ago or so, we were expecting new changes, and I believe the Cabinet had addressed the residency program, not the fast track, which is what I will be talking about today, but the category F. Have there been any changes? Because our clients have been waiting for approvals the past 3-4 years, and the applications are just standing there on standstill. Last time I was here in this conference, predecessor, Minister at the time, Mr. Nikos Nouris, had said that it was something that was in the pipeline, but nothing has happened since. Do we have any news on that?
Still in the pipeline.
Yeah.
I can tell you that we had a conversation on this last week at the Presidential Palace. There were certain investors and potential investors. They raised this specific matter as a concern for their employees, mostly. A category F, remind me, which is the category?
It's not the one that you need the investment of the 300,000
Yes.
plus VAT, the
Yes,
fast track,
yes,
which
yes,
is what
yes.
I will be talking about today. Let's say the normal route where
Yes.
there wasn't a specified amount of money one had to invest in, and there weren't such strict criteria. It had been discussed to update those criteria, but nothing has passed yet.
Yes, this has been addressed in a conversation last week, and the Minister of Interior has taken up the responsibility in order to come back with a solution to this issue, or a suggestion.
Yes, because there have been 3 applications pending for over 3 years, and the clients just don't know what's happening. And since I have here, one other thing I would like to point out. In Paphos, we've had a huge increase in the sales of properties, as you may know. And since Brexit, we've had a lot of issues in that our UK national clients need to obtain Council of Ministers approval. Now, this has caused a huge delay in transactions. It's taking up to 4 or 5 months or even 6 months sometimes to complete. Due to this, this is something that obviously before there was one employee dealing with it and it was sufficient. With the huge number of applications received every day, I would say, it's impossible for the one employee we have currently in Paphos, at least, to cope with this. We've had sent many letters. I'm sure letters have reached you through the Paphos Bar Association, through colleagues. Please, could you take this back with you, and as well the issues we're having with the tax office and the land registry.
Yes, you're right. It was a conversation that we had 2 weeks ago at the Chamber of Commerce in Paphos, Paphos, and it was raised by a lady called Mrs. Mandy.
Yeah, Mrs. Penelope. She wrote a letter as well.
And she was insisting that one employee is not enough for the Paphos area. And of course, we had an answer there, from someone else, that nobody wants to go to Paphos. Sorry about that. And that's why we couldn't find the right knowledge in order to be at Paphos. But I take it, on a serious note, we have taken a note and we will raise it with
And also, the land registry is not coping. We spoke to the director of the land registry, and she said that they're not enough employees to deal with it's great. It's amazing that despite everything, the volume of cases and transfers on a daily basis is increased, but we need to have the capacity to deal with it, because all we hear from our clients are complaints, and we attribute it to the delays of the authorities. So please, in order to be, you're addressing all the other aspects have been technology companies. Please take care of as well of the real estate sector, which I believe is really vital for the Cypriot economy.
Okay, I will raise it with
thank
the
you very
Minister
much
of
for your
Interior.
speech.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, hello, Mr. Minister. Thank you very much for your very informative speech. Just touching on Christiana's point about the corporation of companies in the UK. My name is Alexis Chrysafiadis. I'm a chartered accountant here in London with Adlershine. Here in the UK, we've seen a significant increase in regulation around ownership, transparency of ownership and directors, even more so recently. I was just curious to find out what type of implementation there is in the company registration for new businesses in respect of that, and also obviously with the Russian sanctions that are currently ongoing.
Yes, it's a very valid point, this one, simply because Cyprus had not been complying in full with the EU directives. And as part of this digitalization that we are concluding at the companies registered, this will be included, and by the end of the year we will be in full compliance about this, let's say, ownership. That it was a matter that of concern, and it was raising issues with when we were receiving some, let's say, assessments from the European Commission. But this will be resolved by the end of the year. All right? Thank you very much again. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister of Energy, Commerce and Industry of the Government of the Republic of Cyprus, Mr. George Papanastasiou. Thank you very much.